Hey guys, what's up? This is Fang Slasher VA here, coming at you with a new video, and in today's video, we're going to continue the theme of the previous videos, and we're going to be doing some trivia stuff that Mizu here found,
Yeah. Hello.
and and yes, she is here, of
Yeah.
course, because she's my editor and she helps me with ideas when I don't have any. So yeah, let's get this started.
Also, forgive me if I cough, guys. Allergies. Okay, trivia bullet point one. According to Ian Flynn, who asked what Infinite's real name was when writing the script for Sonic Forces digital comic, Infinite is in fact the Jackal's real name. However, it's popular in the Sonic community to headcanon his final name as just a code name adopted after putting on the mask, symbolizing his self-proclaimed rebirth. The fans often use the name Zero the Jackal, similar to the original drafts, when referring to his unmasked true identity. It was also revealed by Flynn that Infinite, alongside the Jackal Squad, are not allowed to be used in the IDW publishing Sonic the Hedgehog comic series.
That okay, so I so this is where people are going to be shocked by my lack of knowledge regarding, because as people know, Infinite is a character that had all this hype, had all this potential. Sadly, because of how Sonic Forces was, it he really turned out to be a big disappointment, especially when you factor in especially when you factor in um the actual Shadow DLC, which was the worst thing they could have ever done for Infinite ever.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the base game, obviously, they had all this. I mean, he was a complete menace. And
He
then
was a menace
episode
to
Shadow
society.
reveals, oh, well, he's just a big crybaby. Okay. But
Yeah.
when, but when it comes to his name, I've never actually seen this or heard about this, but it would not sort of surprise me, because for some reason, fans of anything, if it doesn't have a name, will create a name that is maybe part of like a draft of a series
Oh,
or
yeah.
a game. But when it comes to not being allowed to be used in the IDW publishings, that tells me that Sega might have plans for him. Or B, it's a bit of a Mephiles thing to where they weren't allowed to use Mephiles. I believe,
Yeah.
again, this is the fan, to where because of the disappointment of Sonic 2006, because of the bad reputation that game has and still had and still has, a lot of people often theorize that Sega stopped allowing Mephiles to be put in anything because of the fact that they don't want to be, basically, they wanted to distance themselves from that game. Obviously, Mephiles is a way better written villain than Infinite, and
Yeah, he is.
and I think the recent years of people realizing that, I think that's why they started putting him in things again and creating merch for him, which I still need that Jack specific figure of him,
Yeah,
along with Neo
no,
Metal.
yeah, because we haven't been able to find that in the store at all.
um, Finding it a little strange that they won't allow him to be in the IDW comic series.
Yeah, same with
Hmm.
his squad too.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, here's the thing. I'm not sure if Shadow just knocked them out, but a lot of people have theorized that Shadow just offed his squad.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, dang. Okay. Bullet point number two. According to Christian Whitehead, Infinite was originally going to debut in Sonic Mania, but ultimately was scrapped.
Now, I did not know this. And I love Sonic Mania.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised this was a possibility considering at the end you see classic Sonic go into pretty much warp to the
Sonic
at this
Forces.
point, yeah, at this point, people gotta remember they did that whole stupid separating the continuities, you know,
Which was
with Tails saying
crazy.
how, with Tails saying that you're the Sonic from the other dimension. Luckily, they stopped doing that. They went back to the idea that Classic Sonic is a past version of Sonic, and that's why I personally prefer. Um,
Same.
but but this does not surprise me at all.
Bullet point 3. According to Mario Kishimoto, there is always a possibility that Infinite might return in future games due to him being a character from the mainline games.
Ironically enough, that goes into what I just said about why maybe they don't want him to be in the IDW levels.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, there are fans of Infinite. Um,
Yeah.
so maybe they might. Who
Who
knows?
knows? Bullet point 4. Concept artwork for the stage Null Space implied that Infinite may have been planned to appear in the level in some way.
Click that concept artwork thing and see if it brings it up. Oh,
Whoa. Okay, that's cool.
now that would have been interesting.
That would have been interesting. Huh. Well then, that would have been an interesting stage if he did. Uh, bullet
Yeah,
bullet point 5. Infinite's Phantom Ruby aura varies in design depending on the console. In E3 2017 trailer and the comic prequels, his aura is depicted as being flame-like. In the Xbox One and PS4 versions of Sonic Forces, his aura glows red and forms a purple haze with glitch-like effects. In the Nintendo Switch version of the game, he merely has a red frenzel glow.
and the Switch version probably has that because of the fact that it is low powered compared to the PS4
Yeah.
and the Xbox One. Again, I'm not putting down the Switch. I'm just merely speaking facts here. Um, because that's certainly how they get certain games running on the Switch is that they have to turn down certain graphics. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, The Witcher 3 had to do that. They had to downgrade that game big time to fit on the OG Switch.
That's true, they did. I remember that.
But then also too, but then you have other ports that looks pretty similar to the big brother versions on the more powerful consoles, like Doom 2016, for example.
Oh, yeah. Bullet point 6. Infinite has a brief cameo near the end of Come Join the Eggman Empire propaganda video, where he emerges from behind the egg ponds when the narrator claims that the possibilities for those under his empire are infinite, acting as a subtle pun as well as a foreshadowing.
I think I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Bullet point 7. Infinite is the most frequently fought boss in Sonic Forces, fought a total of 3 times in the game. This is true.
That's correct. You fight him with Sonic twice. The second time you have Classic Sonic with you, and you have your avatar with you. Um, then you fight him with Shadow, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Oh. Bullet point.
No, I'm wrong. You
Wait.
first fight him with Sonic in the forest, then you fight him with your avatar,
Tar. Yeah.
and then you fight him with just modern Sonic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bullet point 8. Infinite is one of the few Sonic characters with heterochromia, the other being Abraham Tower, and coincidentally, they both have a prior negative history towards Shadow.
Well, Abraham Tower, as we've seen, was just a little brat, and he was just,
He was being a little
you know,
shit in Shadow the
yeah.
Hedgehog.
Well, not to mention in spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't played Shadow Generations or seen the animation, but um, he was afraid of he he was afraid of Shadow,
Yeah, and he.
and,
Yeah.
and if I remember, he called Shadow a freak.
He did. Yeah.
And I think what it is, I think he was maybe jealous the fact that Maria and Shadow spent a lot of time together too. So maybe
Yeah.
my theory, he might have had like a childhood crush on Maria. That is a possibility.
That
Who
is a
knows?
possibility. No one knows, though.
But what we do know is that he always had negative feelings towards Shadow. So, and Infinite, the only reason why he has negative feelings towards him is because Shadow just made him
Literally
look like a
kicked.
little punk.
Yeah, kicked his booty. Bullet point 9. Infinite is the second villain who despairingly refers to Sonic as a rat, with Sonic correcting him regarding his actual species. The first is a Razor Jin.
That's true. Erasergrin did that a lot in Sonic and the Secret Rings because he knew it would annoy Sonic.
I'm not a rat, I'm a hedgehog. Hedgehog! I love that line so much. It's just the way Sonic says it.
Mm-hmm.
Bullet point 10. Jokingly, now, viewers, it says jokingly here. According to Sonic Twitter Takeover number 3, Infinite collects or at least has some form of media involving Shadow, the popular romantic ship between Sonic and Shadow.
Yes, that's correct, but it is a joke.
It's a joke. It literally
Note,
says
it is a
jokingly.
joke.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: people can ship whatever they want.
This is
Totally
true.
cool.
Yeah.
Totally fine with people shipping Sonato. I mean, Mizu does.
As long as you don't go cuckoo crazy over it, then you're fine.
Yeah, like what she does.
Yeah, I still try to keep fangirling subtle, but Boo's been trying to help me with that more.
Yeah. But yes, that's correct.
And for the last bullet point, after the release of Sonic Forces, Infinite's theme song on YouTube became the first result to show up after searching phrases such as edgiest song ever, or edgiest song ever made. This still seems to be the case, though it may depend on the user's algorithm data.
I'm not surprised. People made it like Infinite is like even more edgy than Shadow, and it's like, well, first and foremost, I hate that word
Yeah.
because they always apply it to characters that has a complicated background.
Oh my god,
Um,
yeah.
Infinite has a freaking amazing theme song, and ironically enough,
His
I figured
theme
out
song
that,
is really good.
his theme song fits my OC more than it does him.
This is true. We figured this out the other day. I remember
How
this.
long? How long have we been recording?
14 minutes.
Interesting. This is a little bit of a shorter one this time.
Yee, because there wasn't as many bullet points as for Metal Sonics and Mephiles.
But yeah, you guys, Infinite is a character that could be redeemed. For sure. He's a character that I know that a lot of people like. Again, I like the idea of him, but I just didn't like how Absol Shadow made him look like a freaking
Yeah.
um, you know, but if they do ever bring him back, maybe with Ian Flynn's writing, hopefully maybe he will be a bit more of a better character. Who knows? But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe and hit that bell button. And also too, I'm not gonna push this too much in my videos, but um both me and Mizu are doing streams to help raise me a Switch 2. So if you
Ye-
can share it around and let people know or whatever, that will be a big help.
yes.
But yeah, we'll see you all in the next video. Later, guys.
Laters.